G'day everyone, what is going on? It is your favorite producer from down under, Jhin, back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to be showing you guys how to easily make an analog sample for an artist such as Don Toliver or Travis Scott, something that is inspired by Jhinbeats. But yeah, if you are new here, would greatly appreciate it if you do punch that subscribe button. And while you're at it, click that little notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload a video. Friendly reminder that I stream live over on Twitch as well, so if you do want to chuck me a follow over there and catch up with the shenanigans, would greatly appreciate that one too. But yeah, with that being said, and without further ado, let's get into FL Studio and let's break down this sample. Okay, so here we are inside of FL Studio, and like majority of my samples, not much is happening with this one. We have 3 melodic and 2 bass. Now, to begin with, if you are making a sample for Travis Scott, Don Toliver, or inspired like the producer duo Jhinbeats, you're obviously going to need some analog sounding sounds. This is where we are using Analog Lab. Now, the preset that we are using from this one is Asterisk, and that comes from the overused bank known as Loophole Volume 2. Now, when it comes to the pattern, we are doing something really simple. We're just playing a broken chord. Now, what I mean by that is, as you can see, we are working in the key of A sharp minor at a BPM of 113. With this broken chord, we have A sharp, C sharp, and F. If we were to not have these broken and just have them playing at the exact same time, we would have your typical A sharp minor triad. But by breaking it up and also making the sample sound a little bit darker by adding in this C down the bottom, we give it that more kind of rhythmic feel. Now, all we did with the second part of this sample was we copied it over and we pitched it up 5 semitones. Now, this is a technique used a lot by Jhinbeats when they are making samples for Travis Scott or Don Toliver. They copy the first part of the melody over, pitch it up either 5, 7, or a full octave. Now, if I was to go here, shift and down arrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see, it matches perfectly with the first half. But in context, this is what the first melody sounds like. As you can hear, really simple, but this is practically just being used as the foundation. Going on to the next sample, it comes from Analog Lab yet again, and this one is the Blizzard preset from the Loophole Volume 2 bank yet again. All we're doing with this one, keeping it simple, we're just following the root notes of the whole sample over 2 octaves. As you can see, A sharp 5, A sharp 4, D sharp 5, and D sharp 6 over here. Just keeping it really simple. We just wanted another ear candy practically used for this sample. In context, it just sounds like so. It's practically just being used as an impact when the main melody is playing, just to make it sound a little bit different, make it sound a little bit full as well. Going on to the next element, surprise, surprise, Analog Lab yet again, Loophole 2. And what we are using with this one, the preset is the Crocodile Lee Swamp. And all we are doing is the exact same as the pad, but to change it up a little bit, we do have breaks in between. As you can see, A sharp over 2 octaves, then a break, A sharp over 2 octaves, a break. Then we go down to the next root note, which is D sharp, where we have a break again, B sharp, and then a break at the very end, just to make it sound a little bit more rhythmic. In context, this is what it sounds like. It practically sounds like a submarine sonar going off. And just having that little texture in the background does make the sample sound a bit more unique and just makes it yet again feel a bit more full, because just having the 2 melodies playing, it still felt like a lot was missing with it. Going on to the next instrument, we do have Serum come in, and we are using the Mafia bass preset. Now, if you do want to cop this one, link to that will be down in the description, as well as a link to an RC20 preset that I have made that comes from a bank of mine called Nightmares Volume 1. Now, if you do want to cop the full Nightmares Volume 1, I'll be leaving a link to my BeatStars in the description for you guys to cop it. But yeah, all we're doing with this bass is just something really simple, following the root notes, but we do have some slide pass notes come in where we are just playing with the octaves. As you can see, we have A sharp 3, then it slides up to A sharp 4 for a bit, and slides back down the octave, then it goes A sharp 4 to D sharp 4, before it goes from this D sharp all the way down to D sharp 3, sliding down a full octave. On to the next part, D sharp 3, up an octave, then back down to D sharp 3, goes over again, where it slides up an octave to D sharp 4, then up to A sharp 4, before it slides all the way back down to A sharp 3, and it plays over again. In context, this is what the bass sounds like. As you can hear, there is a subtle white noise in with this bass as well. I just added that to give it more of that analog feel, because if you do make a bass, for example, in a Juno 106, you are going to get some of that mechanical white noise that you would just usually get, which is what happens when you use an analog sounding synthesizer. I wanted to emulate that, so just added a little bit of white noise to it. Going on to the final element, it comes in from Contact, and surprise, surprise, basic pure preset from the Nor Pure Contact Bank, and all we are doing is just playing the root notes over 2 octaves. As you can see, A sharp 2, A sharp 3, that repeats over before we actually pitch it down to D sharp, which is the other root note, and we just play that over 2 octaves. Now this plays in the first part of the sample before it's just fully relying on the synth bass, but in context, this is what the piano sounds like. Just to make it sound a bit more natural before we do actually fully rely on the synthetic side of it. Going on to effects, so we've kept it really simple. With the chords, we have an EQ come in where we get rid of a lot of the low end and we cut out some of the highs, just so it has its own frequency range, and we did boost specific frequencies around 1500 and 550 hertz. We have a sound shifter that actually turns on throughout the sample, where we actually pitch it down a full octave. If I go over here, as you can see, we have it automated off, and then it comes on for the second part. We do have another EQ that comes on for the second part of the sample as well, just to get rid of a lot of the low end. Going on to the next element, which is the pad, we just have an EQ come in just to get rid of a lot of the highs and a lot of the lows, just to make sure that it's not muddy. With the accent, just an EQ yet again, getting rid of highs and the lows, get rid of the muddiness, have it sitting in its own frequency range. We do have the piano come in where we have an EQ come in where we get rid of everything below 80 hertz, and we just do a decent cut around the 130 hertz, just so the synthetic bass has a decent amount of room to breathe. Going on to the bass, there's nothing on it. We didn't need to, mainly due to the fact with how I made it in Serum, I made it so it would fit really nicely with these sort of samples. Going on to the melody bars, we have an RC20 come in with the Tri-Freeze preset. If you want to cop it, link to it will be down in the description. We have a Valhalla Vintage Verb come in where we are using the Tiled Room preset, mix on 20%, pre-delay on 0, and the decay on 0.6, low cut of 300 hertz. We have a Double at 2 come in where we are using the basic double take preset, and we do have the Master Wet Dry on 30% because we wanted the sound to be wide but not too wide so that it wasn't clashing with the bass. But yeah, that is how you can easily make an analog sounding sample for an artist such as Travis Scott or Don Toliver, inspired by the producer duo Jhinbeats inside of FL Studio. If you are new here, I would greatly appreciate it yet again if you do punch that subscribe button for me. While you're at it, click that little notification bell so you get notified every single time that I upload a video. Friendly reminder that I do stream live over on Twitch as well, every single day from 10 PM AEST. So if you want to catch up with the shenanigans, would greatly appreciate it if you follow me over there as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next week for another video.